Greetings and salutations and welcome to Hockey TV and our coverage of NOJHL West Division Semifinal Game 3 between the visiting Soo Thunderbirds and the hometown Soo Eagles. My name is Scott Nason. I'll be providing play-by-play for tonight's contest. Our cameraman tonight is Rob Horn, and speaking of men, I have a very talented man to my right, color commentator Larry Pozzebon. And, well, Poz, it's been a while since we've done a broadcast, a couple weeks, but we are into this Western Division semifinal series between the Soo Eagles and the Soo Thunderbirds, the border battle tied at 1, as we had a pair of one-goal games at the John Rhodes Community Center over the past few days. The Thunderbirds win by 1 in Game 1, and the Eagles win by 1 in Game 2. Before we talk about Game 3, kind of set the stage for us on what to expect tonight.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, hello again. I was at Game 1, and that's the one that went to overtime, and my observation of that game, it was good goals and weak goals, and good goaltending, and like I said, there were some both sides. I'm talking about both sides made some nice saves, the goaltenders. They kept their teams in. The opportunities that both teams had, nobody wanted to score, and therefore they went into overtime. The Eagles missed a wraparound by Giovanni Vitali on the goalpost, and Trish Cicello scored with a wrist shot from the blue line. I was right in front of me. You could see it going all the way, top corner, and that was a story there. I didn't get to see Monday night's game. I was out of town, so, I mean, just reading on it, it had to be another good game. That other one, the first one I say, was excellent, and I expect the same thing here tonight. Excellent hockey.
Yeah, the Thunderbirds did win Game 1 in overtime, as you mentioned, Larry, 4-3. And then in that game on Monday night, the Eagles skated away with a 3-2 victory over the Soo Thunderbirds. Colby Keller scored on the power play with just over 6 minutes remaining in the third period to break the ties. The Eagles skated away with a 3-2 victory.
Now, excuse me, is that his first goal or his second goal since coming back?
He might have had one in Game 1. I don't have the stats in front of me, but the Eagles would also get goals from Jake Palmerio. The Eagles scored 37 seconds into the game. Thunderbirds would draw even at 1 as Noah Solinger scored, and then Nick Smith would make it 2-1 Thunderbirds, and then Gianni Vitali would tie the game at 2 in the second period, and then the Eagles would win by the score of 3-2. Carter McPhail solid in net, making 37 saves for the win. Brandon Gordon faced 32 shots in defeat for the Soo Thunderbirds. So if you look at it, Larry, as far as a 7-game series, when you're the road team in the games 1 and 2, and you get one of those 2 wins, you have basically, I'm going to use a tennis analogy, you've broken serve. Now all you got to do is hold serve and win your games at home. So, you look at the next 2 games being here at Pullar Stadium. I was having a chat with my sons here on the ride here as far as which team maybe has more pressure tonight. You might say the Eagles because they're at home. You feel like you have to follow up that road win with a hold of serve. What would you say? Is there a team that has more pressure tonight, or is it still too early in the series to feel pressure?
Well, I think it's too early, really, because the Thunderbirds are coming in here, they're down 1. They definitely don't want to be going back down 3-1 after this series is here. So if they can get the home ice back in their court, as you're making a tennis analogy,
very good.
They can get it back in their court, then they'll be happy. And the Eagles say, well, we come off a win over there. Let's show what we can do on our building and play front. The pressure, I don't think there's a lot of pressure, unless you put it on yourself down on the bench and on the ice, then that's the only pressure they're going to see. Depends on if the game gets out of hand early, then there's pressure for one team or the other.
Game 4 will be here Friday night at 7:30. Larry and I will have the call of that one, and we will have a Game 5. That'll be Saturday night at the John Rhodes Community Center at 7:30. And if there is a Game 6, that'll be Monday night here, March 26th. At Pullar Stadium at 7 p.m. Looking at the other playoff series, Larry, I know you got some things you want to talk about here before we go to the starting lineups. And it scratches. The Rayside Balfour Canadians are down 2-1 in their series against Blind Rivers. The Beavers absolutely poured it on last night, defeating the Canadians by the score of 8-1.
Wow.
As they lead that series by a 2-1 count. Game 4 will be Thursday night in Blind River. And in the East, another surprise. The Timmins Rock are up 2-1 over Powassan as they skate away last night with a 2-1 win over the Voodoos. Game 4 is tonight in Timmins. So Timmins with the win at home, they could really put a stranglehold on that series. I don't think many people, including you and I, Larry, gave Timmins much of a shot in that series, but obviously they're playing some good hockey, and Powassan maybe hasn't had enough drama in their season, and all of a sudden they're in a playoff series, and kind of like we saw the Thunderbirds last year with the Eagles. The Eagles snuck up on them. They were fighting for playoff positions. They had that opening round playoff series. Timmins went to 3 games against Hearst, and maybe they're following the Eagles' lead from last year.
Maybe they are, wish them luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other series going to form, Cochrane leading Kirkland Lake by a 2-0 count, and Game 3 will be in Kirkland Lake tomorrow night, Thursday. Now, Larry, you have some information there about some infractions, types of infractions and stuff, so I'm going to turn over the floor.
Okay,
what would you like to talk about?
Well, I was going through some of these scores in the NOJHL, and I came across some that I thought were rather unusual penalties. Well, I shouldn't say you don't see them too often, but we seem to have a flood of them now. So I went back to December, January, February, and March, and I've looked at spearing, butt ending, and slew footing. So I think most of the hockey people know what spearing is, when you stick the guy with the blade of your stick. Butt ending is when you throw the shaft end at him. And slew footing is when you knock the guy's skates out from underneath them. And those are, I checked in Hockey Canada rule book, and those penalties are either 5 minutes or 2 minutes. And I noticed there's an abundance of 2 minutes. 1 5-minute was only called on all these penalties, and the rest were getting 2 or 4 double minors. And I think NOHA and Hockey Canada have to look at that rule, because in those 4 months, 12 spearing, 5 butt ending, and 2 slurring penalties. And I've seen the results of a spearing penalty one time when I was with the Greyhounds. When I was with the Lakers as their equipment manager, and John Flesh, kid from Sudbury, was
telling
playing.
Me this, yeah.
Yeah, and he got speared in the game, and I went and checked on him. But I'll tell you, there was a gash there that was unbelievable. It looked like somebody took a knife to him. And that's how serious spearing is. And I think the league has to look at those and say, listen, you got 5, it's a major, and you're going to get, because some of these penalties here, some guys are repeat offenders. And so they're not learning anything. They're saying, hey, I'm going to get 4 minutes, I'm still going to be in the next game, and nothing's going to happen to me. The league has to look at something like that and stop that stuff. Somebody's going to get hurt, just like checking from behind or hitting to the head. I put those in the same category as those other ones. And that's just my opinion on what's going on out there.
Game 3 about to begin here in the next few minutes at Pullar Stadium on this Wednesday night. Crowd still building here as a midweek game, but lots riding on this one. And if you are watching back at home, wherever home may be, and you want to contact Larry or I during the game, we'd love to hear from the fan bases, not just the Sioux Eagles fans, but any Soo Thunderbirds fans that may be watching. We like to open up the floor, so to speak. We do have a lot of T-Bird fans here tonight, Larry.
We do.
As we usually get during this time of season. But if you're at home, a lot of the families I know can't make this game at least. Tweet us. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're watching. Let us know what you think about the broadcast. The easiest way to do so is go on Twitter. You can tweet me at snason2013. That's snason, Nason, 2013. And we do put up the audio podcast of this game on our podcast page of our sports show, The Game. And you can find the audio podcast. Usually I put it up the next day at thegamesportshow.podbean.com. So you can watch on Hockey TV. You can also hear the audio of Larry and I during the podcast of Sioux Eagles hockey. I want to say hello to Sioux Eagles owner Ron Lavin, who is tuning in tonight, hoping for a good result and a good series. And, well, Larry, talking to Bruno Braganolo today when I was setting up earlier, was talking about, the first 2 games in the series, and it just seems like every game between these 2 squads is going to be almost follow a similar script. It's going to be rough at times. There's going to be some nastiness. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to probably one opportunity because, you look at the first 2 games, 1-goal games. Look at the regular season, a lot of 1-goal games. These teams are just very evenly matched.
Yeah, they like to play each other, and they hate to play each other.
Right.
I don't think there's that much. I think the media builds this up here, not our media, mind you. But,
absolutely not.
But outside, the other media has picked this as saying it's a border battle. It's not. Well, they're going with the double connotation of 2 B's there. I guess there, eh?
B. Not a big fan of the double connotations.
No, just using the double B, their border battle. Okay, because it's a game. it's a game that there's a lot to ride on it. Position wise, there's no money on this because it's not like being in the pros where if you end up in first place, you get so much money.
Sure.
End up in second. So it should just come out. And then again, this is not the enemy. That's not the enemy they're playing against. It's the opposition. Go out there and have a good game, and the best team win.
But it is the best rivalry in the Twin Saults in any sports.
It is. Well, there's no football rivalry.
No,
there's
really no other sports. You get the occasional football game where a Canadian school will play. Get the occasional hockey game where somebody will play Soo High. But not like this. Not a regular season. Every year you're playing each other 10, 12 times.
This is 10 years going right now.
It is. Let's look at the lineups tonight. And, Coach John Parco, who we both saw at the concessions there, Larry, before the game, I didn't recognize him because, he's not behind the bench. He is serving the third of a 3-game suspension.
He's in his civilian clothes tonight, yeah.
So he is here, but he's not behind the bench. So we won't see him behind the bench tonight.
We got Toots Kovacs and, what's the name, Caruso, or I think it is. I'm not sure.
I believe so. Not dressed for the Soo Thunderbirds tonight. Number 2, Braden King. He's serving the third of a 5-game suspension. Number 3, Jonathan Macklin. Number 11, Camden Finley. Number 18, Cole McKay. Number 19, Avery Rebick. Number 26, Cameron Baber. And goaltender number 1, Andrew Ushinsky. For the Sioux Eagles, not in the lineup tonight, number 9, Matt Capiciotto. He's serving the first of a 4-game suspension. Number 17, Owen Kipke. Number 20, Bobby Price. Number 25, Jonathan Lacani. And goaltender number 1, Ravi Khatri. No surprise, Larry Carter McPhail in net for the Sioux Eagles tonight, and Brandon Gordon in net for the Soo Thunderbirds. They've played both games, and it sounds like they've played pretty well so far.
They did, yeah. Like I said, in that first game, there was some big saves, both goaltenders, and a couple of weak goals, both goaltenders. But outside of that, they kept their team in the game, and Gordon kept his in a little longer than McPhail.
We have a couple special features during intermission tonight. I had a chance to talk to Bruno again about several things today. The Sioux Eagles are going to honor one of their coaches, Joe Bailing, who we haven't seen behind the bench as much this year due to the fact that, his business and some other things. Yeah, his work commitments have gotten in the way of his fun time coaching, but he's coached a long time, and so the Sioux Eagles are going to honor him. They're also going to have a
very nice gesture.
Absolutely. They're also going to have a couple youth hockey teams here, and we mentioned John Parco not behind the bench, Larry. If you look behind the Eagles bench, you're going to see General Manager Bruno Braganolo behind the bench, filling in for Coach Cappy. Coach Cappy couldn't be here tonight. He has some family things that he's attending to, so we wish him and his family all the best and thoughts and prayers with them. And so you got Bruno back behind the bench. He's
on a 1-game win streak.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to take a break here on Hockey TV. We're going to have the starting lineups announced by Bob St. Peter. We'll have the national anthem sung by Dan Kinney. And the start of Game 3 of this Western Division semifinal between the Sioux Eagles and Soo Thunderbirds here on Hockey TV. So there you have it. National anthem, starting lineups, officials. We are just about set to go here in Game 3 of this West Division semifinal between the Sioux Eagles and Soo Thunderbirds. This series knotted at 1. And, here we go, Larry.
Here we go.
We've been waiting for this. When the playoff matchups were finally sorted out a couple weeks ago, we hoped that it would potentially be a Sioux Eagles-Soo Thunderbirds matchup at some point. We got it in the semifinals, much like we did last year. The Eagles sweep the Thunderbirds last year, but that's a long time ago.
That's a year ago.
Yep, we got a whole different ball game here.
Different team, especially for the Thunderbirds.
As this series tied at 1, the Eagles in their black jerseys with the yellow and white and gray trim, and the Thunderbirds in their white jerseys with the blue and orange trim. Thunderbirds and Eagles. Eagles will be going left to right as seen on your video monitor. And Game 3 underway here at the Pullar. Thoroltson will shoot it into the zone. Gordon will stop it behind his net over to Lawrence in the far corner. Eagles scored early in the Game 2. In the first 37 seconds, Jake Palmario. Now here's Palmario with the puck over at the far boards. That pass broken up there by McKay. Now a quick shot. I had him as a scratch, Larry, but looks like there might have been a little discrepancy there. I have 18. We'll have to check that here.
Oh, I think you give a different name on that one.
Okay, well, we'll check that one here. Now here's...
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he said... Catching outside of McDonald's wearing 18.
Okay, so Cade McDonald is 18. Okay, well, that's news to me. We'll have a whistle and a face-off outside the Thunderbirds blue line. Again, if you want to contact Larry or I during the game and say hi, please do so. Go on Twitter. You can tweet me at snason2013. Want to say hello to Patty and Hawk, watching from Arizona, hoping for a win. As well, Steve-O is watching from Auburn, California, rooting for, of course, number 24, Jake Lamberti. Now here's Kalisti with it. He'll clear the zone. Thorlson with the puck. Now he gets knocked down. Kalisti with the puck. Now Kalisti behind the net for the Thunderbirds. They won game 1 4-3 in overtime. Eagles won game 2 on Monday night by a 3-2 count. Now the Thunderbirds with the puck. Kalisti passes it over to Bellini. Now at center ice. The Thunderbirds with it. Terrio along the near side. That shot deflected. Goes along the end boards. Crowd still filing in here. Not as big as maybe you might think, but it's still early. A good crowd nevertheless. Now the T-Birds with it. Kalisti with the puck. Almost stolen there by Keller. Good to see Kobe Keller back on home ice, Larry.
Yes, it is.
As he came back there in game 1 after an extended time out here during the regular season. Now the Thunderbirds with it. Kalisti, his shot deflects over. Taken there by Clark. Hayden Clark over in the far corner. Now Robbins over there. Roberts loses the puck. Now puck taken there by Saxton. Cleared the zone. Crusoe with the puck. Well, that stopped there by the row. Here's Saxton with the shot. That misses the net. Puck goes along the near boards. Thunderbirds with the puck. We played 2 minutes. No score. 1-0 shots in favor of the T-Birds here early on. Now the Eagles with it. Rowe clears it to center. That's Rowe at center ice. He'll chase the puck in. Gordon behind his net. Intercepted there by Rowe. Bad play. Open in front. A shot. Oh, save there, I think, by Gordon.
I think Vitelli, I'm not sure if he missed the net or Gordon got a piece of it.
Vitelli had a great chance. Now Thorlson shot deflected. Rebound. Puck loose. And a goal!
Vitelli got that one now.
Gianni Vitelli gives the Eagles a 1-0 lead. 17:35 to play here in the first period. He had that chance there, Larry, that he didn't connect on, but that puck was bouncing around and he found it and he buries it. So Gianni Vitelli, who scored in game 2, is going to get credit for that goal.
He missed the winner in game 1 then.
Yeah, so here we go. Eagles off to the start they wanted. They lead by the score of 1-0. 17:35 to play here in the first period. We'll get the call from Bob.
Eagle goal scored by number 14, Gianni Vitelli. Assist number 12, Austin Rowe, and number 23, Kalen Thorlson.
So Rowe and Thorlson with the assist. Now a shot. Gordon with the save. Puck behind the net. I don't know if either team has had more than a 1-goal lead yet in this series, Larry. It seems like it's been either tied or a 1-goal lead. We'll see if the Eagles can change that. Now Acosta with the puck. Thunderbirds trail by 1. Acosta at the blue line. He'll cycle the puck back down low. Schwab will chase it over along the far boards. I want to say hello to the Schwab family if they're watching tonight. Now Banser will clear it in. Kalisti with the puck. Shots now 4-1 in favor of the Eagles after that flurry. Now Kalisti over to McDonald. Cade McDonald with the puck. Along the end boards. McDonald with it. Now Solinger. Solinger in the near corner. Lamberti on him. Now puck taken there by the T-Birds at the blue line. Bellini, his shot, save, rebound. Oh, nice job there. Lamberti, that puck was sitting there nicely for the T-Birds player. Lamberti just stuck that one out of the way.
Yes, he did.
Now McDonald shoots it back in for the T-Birds. They're starting to get some pressure. 16:10 to play in the first period. 1-0 in favor of the Eagles on that goal by Vitelli. Now puck shot to center ice and down the ice, and that's going to be an icing call. No icing. They wave that one off. Now McDonald over in the far boards. McDonald taken there by Solinger for the T-Birds. Solinger drops it for Kalisti. Now Kalisti over to Bellini. Back to Kalisti. Clears it center ice. Now chipped in by Tassone. Die ball with it. Now intercepted there by Tassone rather. Thunderbirds with some pressure. Now Keller gets that puck out of the zone and down the ice. Eagles go for a line change. Austin Heinrich with the puck to Tassone. Now he'll drop to center ice. Thorlson will shoot it right back in. Gordon stops it out of his net. Caruso over along the far boards, taken away by Keller. Now Tharaldson, check that. Tekel with the puck to Barterson, shot, save, rebound. Goes back to the point, Tharaldson. Now Tharaldson will shoot. That one deflects off a Thunderbirds player. Goes to the far boards. T-Birds trying to clear the zone. They do. That's Smith. Always dangerous, Smith. Now Smith with the puck. Nick Smith, number 22. He gets knocked down. Thunderbirds fans want a penalty. None called. Now Terrio with it. Terrio in the slot. Loses the puck. Taken there by Tekel. Cicello at center ice. Crowd loud here tonight.
It is
early.
tonight, yeah.
Now here's Tassone with it. Tassone over along the near boards. Wonder if that's Coach Park over here to below us there. He does get a little animated. Now Tassone back to the point. Cicello puts it behind the net. Now over the far boards. Tharaldson skates it to center ice and shoots it in. Gordon makes the save. 14-10 to play in the first period. Shots 5-1 Eagles. They lead by 1 here in game 3. Now a bad pass intercepted there, and we have was that offside, Larry?
I'm not sure, but the guy was there. It went off of one of the Thunderbird players and went in the zone, so shouldn't have been really.
14:04 to play in the first period. Finally catch my breath.
Yeah,
here.
I was going to get a chance here earlier on before we had this whistle. Number 12, Tanner Main, got hurt on a play out there, and he went to the bench, and I kept my eye on him. He took some medical service down there, but he seems to be all right now.
T-Birds with the puck. Mal passes into his own zone. Cicello, who got the game winner in game 1. Overtime. The Thunderbirds actually had a penalty shot as well in that overtime, Larry. Something you don't see very often.
Nick Smith, and he never scored.
No, he didn't. Now the Eagles with it. Butcher over along the far boards to Blair. One other game going on in the playoffs. Timmins hosting Powassan. Timmins leads that series 2-1, so we'll try to check that one out as we can. Now Saxton try to put it in front. Blair at the point shot. That one blocked there. Cicello, I think, got a piece of that one.
Or Miller, somebody.
Yeah. That one flipped off the boards. Vitale, good start for the Eagles here in game 3. Saxton with it. Saxton drops it for Rose, shoots it in. That one bounces off of Maine, goes right in the slot. Vitale tried to get that one under control. Couldn't. Now that one will go out of play. We'll have a face-off with 13-10 to play here in the first period.
Maine's having a rough first period here. He got that one in the left side. He got hurt. Took that one off his helmet, and he's just shaking his head. He seems to be all right. Okay, you get 3, and then that's it, you say.
Yep. No score yet. Powassan and Timmins. Timmins with a surprise 2-1 lead in that series. Powassan, the best team in the NLJHL during the regular season. But they're having their hands full with the rock.
Playoffs make a different story.
You're right. Now puck at center ice. Clark shoots it back in. I'll say hello to Daniel Clark if he's watching. A very quiet Twitter fear tonight. Maybe everybody's here. Hopefully. It's playoff time. Now the T-Birds with it at center ice. Quinn will chase it down for the Eagles. Over along the far boards. Eagles with a lot of energy out there in game 3. You would expect that after winning game 2 and being back at home.
Getting the first goal helped, too.
Yes, it does. Much like it did in game 2. We'll have a stoppage in play as McPhail will hold. 12:25 to play in the first period. Still 1-0 Eagles.
A couple of sponsors you'd like to say hello to or about. We have Salon C, Midwest Strategy, Century 21, and Guido's Pizza. Take them in when you can, folks.
Absolutely. Face on with their last night, as a matter of fact. Guido's
Which one?
Pizza.
Guido's?
Yeah. Now puck at the blue line. Heinrich passes it over to Van Team. Back to Heinrich. Now his shot blocked there by Lamberti. As Caruso shoots it back in. Puck taken by McDonald. Keaton McDonald wearing number 18 tonight. Now puck at center ice. Lamberti shoots the puck into the T-Bird zone. Now McDonald with it. Caden McDonald now on the left wing side. Across the blue line. McDonald puts it behind the net. Van Team, we're going to have a whistle, Larry. Net off the moorings, I believe.
Oh, yeah, there it is. You're right.
And so that'll be a face-off, 11:52 to play. This is the only game in town, Larry. There is no more high school basketball teams playing. There are no other hockey teams playing.
They're not in the March Madness high school?
No, the last one got eliminated yesterday,
Yeah.
so it makes my broadcast schedule easier. If there would have been a team that advanced to the Final Four, I would have had some issues. You might have had to take the mic again.
Oh, not again.
No, trust me. You're not
just
the only,
can't have that.
You're not the only one saying that.
He's only kidding, folks.
It's absolutely. I kid because I care. That's
Boy,
right.
wait a minute. Now the Eagles have too many men. They're trying to make changes. The referees are saying, no, you go back, you come on. Okay, now they're down to their final 5 here. This is it.
Yeah, so Palmerio goes to the bench. As
I don't think that's the people Bruno wants out there, but
now face off controlled by the Eagles. Shots 5-1 still in favor of the home team. Thunderbirds had that first shot early, and they haven't had any since. Now the T-Birds with it. Down the ice, and that's going to go over to the far side. Solinger along the end boards, taken there by Butcher. Now the Eagles come up with it. Keller, pass up to Teckel. This dangerous line here. Keller, Teckel, and Barterson. Scored a lot of goals and assists this year. Now Blair keeps it in. His shot, Gordon makes the save, and he'll hold with 11-12 to play in this first period. The T-Birds in their own zone, Larry, been a little sloppy to start this game.
Yeah, but they've been good in the offensive zone. They've been keeping the puck in, and I'm surprised at that. And all 3 lines, not just like usually you got a checking line that does it, but all 3 lines are doing it.
Face-off controlled by the T-Birds. Khaleesi. Now Khaleesi in front of his own bench. Taken away there by Teckel.
He can pick your pocket all the time, that Teckel.
No, here's Teckel. Gets it to Barterson. His shot. Saved there, Gordon. Rebound goes to Smith in front of the T-Birds bench. Now he'll clear it to center. Taken by Kobe Keller at center ice. Now Blair. Back to Butcher. Back to Blair. Blair at center ice. Eagles player deflects it in.
Going for a line change, Eagles.
Now here come the Thunderbirds. Khaleesi. Nice little backhand pass there to Bellini. Now Bellini across the blue line. Gets it to Tassone. His shot. That hits Clark. Puck goes over to Smith over in the far corner. Now the Eagles. Saxton. Pass off the boards. Rowe. He'll just backhand it in. So we have 10-10 to play in this period. 1-0 Eagles on the goal by Gianni Vitale. Now back to the point. Clark. Quick shot. Save there. It hit somebody in front. That was Dieball, with the shot. Gordon had to be quick on the save.
Yeah, Vitale was looking for a rebound. He come out of the corner. That puck never moved past Gordon's glove.
A couple other hellos I want to give out here. I want to say hello to Stephen Orfanos, who says, share the mic, let Larry call a few minutes of the game. But must be your biggest fan right there. I want to say hello to Joe McPhail, watching up in Fenton. They were up for games 1 and 2, and they'll be back Friday and Saturday. And what is the estimated time of arrival on the new camera? That's a good question there.
I think it's going to be next season.
Although
that's my guess.
Stephen Orfano says the picture looks better, so maybe we got a good connection tonight. So no new camera yet. We're hoping to get it soon because it'll be very nice once it gets in. Back to hockey as the Eagles have it in their own zone. Again, you can tweet me, SNason2013. We'd love to hear from each and every one of you. Now here's Rowe with it in the Thunderbird zone. Gets it back to Saxton, drops it for Clark. Now Clark tried to get it back over to Saxton, but that one broken up. At center ice, Malpass across the blue line. Now Malpass with it. Malpass with a shot. McPhail save, rebound. Puck loose. It goes over to the far boards as Saxton picks it up.
Broken play almost was a scoring opportunity for the Thunderbirds.
Yes. McPhail hasn't seen many shots, but the couple he has have been tough. Now here's Cicchello with it. Cicchello over in the far corner. He'll chip it over to the far boards. Chased down by Clark. Now the Eagles have it. Quinn, under 9 to play in the first period. Quinn dumps it in to the T-Bird zone. Cicchello along the near boards to McDonald. Now McDonald, pass at center ice, Solinger. Now Solinger chases the puck in the Eagles zone. Picked up by Cicchello. Cicchello now, edge of the near circle. Pass back to the blue line. Now Lawrence with a quick shot. McPhail did a nice job to stop it and catch it on the rebound, and we'll have a face-off in the Eagles zone. 8:37 to play here in the first period. 1-0 Eagles.
We should be getting immediate timeout here now.
Need one.
Yeah, here we go.
Yes. Talking here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to